What's up? As promised, I am here at 6:30 on the dot. It took some time to try to get this all together because I had 9,000 things that I was trying to do before I actually was able to go live. So today, I am actually talking about, are you mad because your ex has moved on, but you're still clinging on to hope and you're bitter because of it? So I just want to talk a little bit about why we cling on to toxic relationships. We didn't even like the person. We argued, we fought, we did everything while we were with them, but yet we mad because they moved on. Hey, Jatan. Hey, Linda. Hey, y'all. Thanks for joining. This is going to be an interactive live video, so I need you all to chime in, to comment, post, disagree, whatever it is, but let's be respectful about it. So anyway, talking a little bit about letting go and moving on. Maybe we have to think about, maybe we were the seeds that were planted in this person's life, or that bridge to help them get over it. See, we talk about this all the time, but we never offer a solution. We can be ITCH about it and moan about it, but we do not offer solutions. And a lot of it is our actions. Hey, Lauren. Is our actions that we adopt because of what's going on. So we have to learn how to counter this with positive solutions. I offered some statistics earlier about the percentage or the ratio of women to men just in Chicago alone. So it was like something like 1,259 women to every 1,000 men. But we have to figure out how we can be available. So the solutions that we can offer, not be mad at our ex for moving on, because maybe God created us to be able to give them that bridge to move on. Sometimes you just need to say thank you. Thank you for that bullet that we dodged. And that we're able to move on. We're able to plant some seeds. And no matter how many times that we are planting seeds into someone else and we think it's our time, we have no choice but to get better. But here's the thing. We can't just be fly, cute, got money, but yet we flying off the handle every 5 seconds. We arguing with somebody. We're throwing it out there. See, you can be cute, but if you got a stank attitude, nobody's trying to be bothered with you. So you have to figure out, are there repetitive behaviors that you display within yourself that you are not really owning up to? So some of the things I say you may not be happy about, but you know what? I want to offer solutions. I don't like seeing everybody so unhappy. I don't like being unhappy. And I'll say one thing why people are single sometimes. Maybe it's their choice. Just because you don't like being alone does not mean that someone does not choose to be single at the time. Sometimes they accept that they need to work on them, that they need to prepare themselves. So those are things that we have to not judge other people. We so busy in everybody else business. We get caught up in our ex. We get caught up in their relationship. We're stalking them on Facebook. We're stalking them on Instagram. We're sending messages. We're doing all these things. And another thing of why we remain single and they moved on is because we're holding on, because we have not released the toxins that were deposited into us from staying inside of an unhealthy relationship so long. So, like I said, you may not like what I'm saying, and I may look down a little, but we have to stop buying into stereotypes. You are not a bee. You don't have to scream and holler. You don't have to be loud. And we can have all of these great characteristics, but yet we forget about the fact that we have a relationship with God. We forget about all these things because we want a relationship so bad. The other thing we do, why we stay single, we have 72% of Black women single. And then we have 42% of Black women that are not married. You know why? Because once we become desperate, then what we start doing is we start settling. We think it's okay to sleep and lay and play with somebody else's man. We don't own up to who we are as a woman. We don't value ourselves. We don't value our own worth of who we actually are. And so we have to learn to stop sharing. I always say there will be no one to cheat with if we weren't willing to cheat. See, he'll tell us, I'm going through a divorce. See, I've been there, done that. I'm always ready to raise my hand and be like, yep, I did that, because I thought that it was okay because he was going through a divorce. And nope, not gonna happen. That means I'm a hypocrite. I'm in church like, yeah, but you know, the Saturday night, what was I doing? So once we've planted some great seeds because we invested so much into our prior relationship, we invested so much of ourselves. We cast our pearls before swine. That meaning that toxic man, we gave and we gave and we gave, and we never ever really received. And then what we do is we bargain. We bargain and we start to negotiate our own happiness. My motto is my happiness or my joy is not negotiable. So that means that if you are negotiating your happiness, you've already thrown your chances out the door because you're allowing. See, the minute that someone, here's the thing, you'll have a man, if he's not a great man that's ready to settle with you, whatever you throw out there and allow him to do, he's going to do. It's not going to be a big deal for him. And then when you have a man that has character, that has a moral compass, then he won't respect you for not respecting your own values, who you are. So we have to learn to let go. And my favorite scripture is the one that I actually attached to this live video, is leaving those things which are behind and pressing toward the mark. So we have to reach and press toward the mark for that prize. We cannot continue to just settle for the status quo. And when people, once they've gone on, let them go. You don't need no closure. You just trying to hold on, or you trying to be like, I want you to look at me. The moment we, attain something, then we want to all of a sudden, this is definitely true for women. All of a sudden now we want him to see who we are. No, he saw who you was and he didn't value you then. So guess what? Hey, Lisa. Hey, Ray. Thanks for joining. Everyone that's on, Loren, Linda, thanks for sharing, Linda. If you guys think there's someone they need to see this, please share the video. Definitely want to make sure that we are touching as many single women and men as we can, because I'll just say this, in our community alone, we have to go against the grain. We have to learn to stop buying into the statistics. See, you have people that aren't even black telling us who we are when we date, who we are, because we see reality TV and then we buy into fantasies. That's why we can't move on, because we want our relationship. We think the moment our relationship doesn't look like President Obama and Michelle Obama, our relationship doesn't look like Jada and Will or Jay-Z and Beyonce, guess what? You're not them. You have to build your own relationship reality and not based on what you see. Yes, we can look at people and see how they love on the surface, but we have no clue what's going on. Just like we can see our ex move on with somebody else, and guess what? They could very well be their next headache. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're just happy. And if they are, you need to celebrate that and say, you know what? Maybe I played a part in that. That is not easy. I know it's not easy to say, hey, Deanna, thanks for joining. It's not easy to say thank you to God for allowing your ex to be happy with someone else. That is not easy, but it's definitely something that you have to practice. It's like those I am things. I am happy without him. I am better without him. I am better without her. Whomever it is, you have to learn that. So maybe what we need to do is talk about the problem, figure it out, and figure out what part you played in the relationship ending. Because see, sometimes we play a bigger part than we're willing to own up to. So we have to be willing to own up to the part that we're not owning up to. And let's just face it, black men struggle in this society every single day. They struggle in the society, and then we add to it because we like that. And we want them to own up to things that we're not even owning up to ourselves. Yes, you make money. Yes, you balling. Yes, you're doing all this. But when I had my last single relationship workshop, a gentleman said, we're so masculine when we start to make more money, and not like, a masculine type of demeanor, but it's our attitude towards them, like bow down to me because this is who I am. See, we have to figure out how to make it work. Sometimes the reason it works so well with your ex and the next woman is because she met him where he was. See, we want to change people. And then when someone else accepts them for who they are, and they're not trying to change them, but they're meeting them where they are, and then they become who they are together. See, when you meet someone where they are and you both come together and bring together your positives that you have together, then you push out the negatives. And we define a power couple as someone that has money. A power couple is someone that is praying together, that has faith together, that is not judging one another. We are not perfect, but we also have to learn their love language. Like, that's what I mean by meeting them where they are. Maybe they aren't exactly who you want them to be, but learn to accept their love language, because we ourselves have languages that they don't understand. So we got to figure out how to make it work. Hey, Tanae, and figure out things that we are not meeting, where we're not meeting that rubber, the rubber is not meeting in the middle of the road. So don't be upset about your ex meeting someone else. Say thank you, because that means you're that much more closer to who God has for you. But we have to be accountable. See, I won't allow someone of another race to create a statistic for who I am as a black woman, for who my son is as a black man, for who I am, for how I date, because you're not inside of this culture. You don't know who I am, so you don't know who I am as a black woman. You don't know what I face every day. But we also have to respect one another as black women. See, we could lower the rates and the statistics that 72% of single women, that 42% of black women that aren't married, we could lower those statistics if we stop dating somebody else's husband. Guess what? He ain't your man. God didn't send him to you. He don't bless mess. So that's not your man. And so when people see, no matter how much you think you have it together, when you are broken, you are going to attract that same kind of person. See, you've not been broken when you were with that person. You helped them get past whatever they were struggling with, but you never released that toxic behavior within yourself. So you have to learn. Thank you, Melissa. He does not bless mess. Hey, Miss Kimmy, how are you? I love her. That's my she-girl. So he does not bless mess, Melissa. And I thank you guys. And please, please, please tune in, especially my married women, especially single women who are struggling with this. Don't be quiet, because you know what? Nothing hidden never gets healed. And that's just my motto. Nothing hidden never gets healed. We are pressing toward the mark. We're pressing for the win. We're pressing for the prize. And we are going to change these statistics of what they keep putting on us. See, we buy into it. If they tell us that we are BITCH, then guess what? We start to act like we are BITCH. Then we start to, it's what you feed into your spirit. Because we, like I said earlier, we bargain and we negotiate our happiness. Let go. Create the solution. Be accountable for who you are. Be accountable for where you are. And also hold true that you may not be ready to be in a relationship. Because just because your ex was ready to move on, a lot of the time, as soon as they move on, we automatically like, I gotta one up him. I gotta one up her. I gotta get me somebody. So then we start settling. We start settling when we're not even ready. We have not healed from that. We keep harassing them. Like I said earlier, we're stalking them on social media. We're doing all these things, but we are not actually healing ourselves. Whatever it is you need to do in order to get healed, because how does it help you if you're continuing to wallow in the pity of what happened when you were with that person? That does not help you. So, number one, be accountable. Number two, let go. Be accountable. Let go and start to, yes, dust settles. Oh, Melissa, girl, you're gonna make me shout like I'm having my shout shoes on in 1 minute. So dust does settle. And I don't want to be that person. You got to move on. You got to learn to love you, learn to date you, because no matter how good, yes, heal first, Toya, heal first. No matter how good you think you are, let me tell you something. The moment you meet somebody, you're going to learn how good you're not. Because if you have not released those toxins from that past relationship like your ex has and they've moved on, or maybe they haven't, but guess what? What your ex is doing is not your business, not your problem. Get off their page, delete, block, do what you need to do. Stop worrying about that. You have to heal. Thank you guys for tuning in. Like I said, it is an interactive live that I'm doing, so I do appreciate it. Share if you think there's someone that needs to hear this, because I just want to make sure that we have one more day that we have in this year. So we have tonight and we have tomorrow. Sunday is a new year. Don't wait till then. Make sure that you are not waiting to get your life in order, to get your ducks in a row, and make sure that you're doing what you have to do, and be honest with yourself. I'm so tired of people lying like he was this, he was that. What were you? What were you? Because see, you can't blame someone for what they did to you when you decide to stay. See, first you stay because it's a choice. But once they continue to treat you bad, you stay because you were trying to give them, a chance. But once you continue to allow somebody to mistreat you, now that is your choice. That's your choice. So you cannot blame someone else for what you choose to do or your bad choices. We have to get past that. You know what? We're so carnal minded that we don't wait on God. We don't trust God for what he says he's going to do for us. We do not trust him. We do not lean. We lean on our own understanding. We don't lean on his understanding. We lean on our own understanding. And then we wonder why we continue on this repetitive relational behaviors. Sometimes it's us. Don't nobody care how fine you are. So you could be cute. You can have, like I said, you can be educated. You can have money, and you can be stank. You can have a stank attitude. But because I said our black men struggle with so many things in the world today, we see it every single day. Then that means you, as a help me, you got to be a nurturer. You have to be, a lot of different things that you're going to, some balancing that you're going to do. Now, people have a problem with being submissive. Like, I'm not going to be that person, but I love the Lord. Now, you can't straddle the fence. You're going to do one or the other. So you got to figure out who you are, what you're going to do, who you're going to be, and how you're going to behave. Because in order to get different results, you have to change your current behavior, because clearly your current behavior is not working for you. And if it's not, Tori, you said cute and stank. You can't be cute and stank. You just can't do it. You can't be like, oh, I'm so cute, but you all in their face like, stop that. I'm 50 years old. I don't have no business doing all this. If I'm mad, I'm mad. Nothing is perfect. I promise you, there is no relationship out here that's working that's perfect. So stop thinking that because you see the Obamas hugging and smiling all the time that they're perfect. Figure out your own relationship. We see stuff like that, and the next day we see blazing news that these people aren't together anymore, and I would never wish that on our first family. I'm just saying we have to stay in our own business. We have to stop stalking our exes. We have to figure out who we are, where we're going, what's the solution. Stop buying into statistics and figure out who we are as a black woman or as we are as a black man. Now, I'm telling you, people can say what they want, but I can only speak for who I am as a black woman. I can't speak for anybody else. But I'm going to say this, and this is probably not going to sit well, but people tell us, okay, so think outside the box, date outside your race, think of how you can broaden your horizons, right? So, yes, you can think outside the box, but let me tell you this. Stop putting more pressure on a black man to have more things than you would anybody from another race. See, he has to drive a certain kind of car. He has to look a certain kind of way. He has to dress a certain kind of way. He got to be a certain height. He got to be a certain color. We're way too old for that. We are way past that. But you can go date somebody from another race and they have none of those things, but that's absolutely okay with us. Where does that thinking come from? It is actually planted inside of us through these statistics. And when people tell us stuff, we continue. It's the same thing with men. If I am a woman, I have this brand. I am Terry D. I'm a relationship coach, a speaker, and an author. I'm trying to build my business every day. By trade, I'm a regional sales trainer. And by this, I am everything else. I'm a parallelepreneur, as Lisa Nichols would say. But a black man will tell me I'm a gold digger if I want to stay home and work on my brand. No, I'm building together for us. I got you. See, we have to figure out, stop looking for the man in the Maybach. Because you can have a man, I'm going to tell you right now, in a Volkswagen, and he building and he's stacking his dollars. So we have to figure out, sometimes those past relationships didn't work because he was so terrible to us or because she was so terrible to us. Those past relationships didn't work because we had the wrong mentality. And so now we're mad at them because they're able to move on. They're able to prosper. And we feel like we gave them so much time. We have history. And so you owe me. No one owes you anything. No one owes you anything. You owe it to yourself to figure out how you can be the best you when it comes to a relationship, how you can press towards the win, how you can figure it out. Yes, and can really live during retirement years. Yes, Melissa, you are wearing me out with your comments, but I love them. I absolutely love them. You have to learn that. I don't want to be, you know what, if it means that I have to be married at 52, then guess what? I got to be married at 52. Facebook told me I was going to be married at 52. I'm like, Lord, I'll be 51 this year. I got to get it cracking. Yeah, we know they always right? So I'm going to wait on God, but God. That's all I can say, but God. So we have to figure out our position. Figure out solutions. Stop bitching. Stop doing that. Stop dogging and stop listening to bitter people. See, the moment something don't happen and then somebody say, I saw your ex and he was doing this and he was doing that. Okay, so I'm going to need you not to tell me that because I'm healing. I'm getting myself together. Next thing you know, you like this. You like, oh, Lord Jesus, let me see. Now you lurking and looking, you know, and now you done got all caught up and you back at square one. You cannot worry about what somebody else doing. So let's come up with solutions and not always be complainers. Do not complain so much, about what's going on, but be solution based in what you're doing. For me, I say to you the same way I said in my 7-day secret challenge with my single women, create an I am. I am who God says I am. I am a leader. I am victorious. I am somebody's wife. Then go back and say what you won't do. What's a deal breaker for you? What's not negotiable? So what's not negotiable is you being a serial girlfriend. See, I don't have no business being a girlfriend. Hey, James, how are you? Hey, Joy. Hey, cuz. Love you. I don't want to be a serial girlfriend. At 50, I have no business telling nobody, this is my boyfriend. Get away from me. Get away from me right now. You need to be saying, this is my man, and my man is moving into my husband. This is my wife. I plan on making her, this is my woman. I plan on making her my wife. See, he's going to be that protective of you and who you are because he wants to keep you. He does not want to, take the chance or figure out, oh, I could lose her. So he's going to make sure it is what it is. See, we have to make sure that we put our hearts on a pedestal and we keep it there. It doesn't make you better than anybody, but what you have to do, yes, you cannot be bitter because it rubs off onto that person. See, all you're going to do is take that baggage. Bag lady, you going to hurt your back? Leave those bags behind you. Do not take those bags. Don't even take those bags to tomorrow. Let's not even go to Sunday the 1st. Leave those bags with you and say your I ams. I'm a wife. I'm a tither. I'm joy. Whoever I am a leader. I am whomever it is that you want to be. That's who you are. But who you don't want to be, you also have to confess that. And you have to speak it into the universe so that it begins to attach to you. Because those same bad people that attach to you are the same good things that will attach to you. All you have to do is combat a negative with a positive and remove the mask of lies that you've been telling yourself. Remove the mask of lies that you've been telling yourself. Do not continue to lie to yourself and be like, I was the best thing ever happened to him and blah, blah, blah. Maybe you were, maybe you weren't. Let's just be honest. I've not always been the best girlfriend because I didn't know how to be a girlfriend. I didn't know. And it doesn't come with a manual. So we kind of stumble our way through the dark. We figure it out as we go along. So don't be so upset about what didn't work because we don't know what we don't know. So that means figuring out what's not negotiable. You already know who you are, my I ams, but what are your deal breakers? If you want a man of God, if you want a woman of God, stop kicking it at the club and thinking that you're going to find a husband. Because at some point you have to change the trajectory of your thoughts of who you are and where you are and where you go. Figure out where the single men hang. If it's 1,259 women to 1,000 men, yes, Toy, stop seeking advice from people who are not where we want to be in life. Oh, girl, wait, hold on, y'all. I'm just saying. Anyway, Stop getting advice from people who are not where you want to be. And that's not to say that people can't give you advice. I say definitely don't get advice from bitter people, because if people have never been there, they can't help you. So for me, my pain has turned into my purpose. Someone inboxed me the other day and say, how do you do it? How did you get past a toxic relationship? You know what? I owned up to who I was. I had to let them go by any means necessary. I did not seek closure. I accepted who I was. I accepted who I was not. And that was not easy. It came with tears. It came with a lot of pain. It took me 5 years to get past that. So we definitely have to figure out our I ams and who we are not. What you will not do. What you will not do as a single woman is say, I want to be somebody's wife, but yet you're sleeping with somebody else's husband. What you will not do as a single woman is say, I want to be somebody else's wife, but I'm going to go ahead and share this man because I need me some tonight. I told you I'm not really going to hold nothing back. I'm just saying. You can't sleep with somebody and then say, oh yeah, but I want the Lord to bless me. As Melissa said earlier, God don't bless no mess. So we have to figure that out. We've all been and we there. I'm not judging anybody, because God in heaven knows I can raise both my hands for the choices and some of the mistakes that I have made. I trust you, Linda. I got a whole lot in me. She said, save some for February. I promise you that I have a whole lot. And there is no blessing in that, Melissa. It is not. I've seen it. And I'm going to tell you a piece of my testimony of how I got here and why I share so much is because as a child, as a 9-year-old child, I was told by a family member that the best man to date was a married man, because he had no ties to you and you could just move on. So now at 9 years old, I'm being taught adultery. They're not knowing that they're planting these seeds. See, a lot of our actions, that's where that solution comes from. Half of our actions come from planted seeds, generational curses, and we carry them on. Why do you think these curses are being planted on TV about reality TV and all of that? And why do you think it's not by mistake? It is actually, it's as if it's planned, because they have these percentages of black men and women who aren't married. But then what happens is, hey, Lathan, how are you? Thanks for joining. But what happens is, once they see us becoming power couples, once they see a black president, once they see him showing love to someone, and now they know we want to mirror that, then they start to plant stuff inside of us to say, it is not by mistake that all this stuff is on TV. It's not by mistake that our children latch on to this negativity. And then we see that generation begin to think it's okay to behave in this manner, that I don't need a man. I don't want a man because I got me. Let me tell you something. I want and need a man. I told y'all the other day, I was mad as ever trying to get to the top of that Christmas tree. I was mad as ever trying to nail stuff. So we have to really be honest with ourselves about who we are, about where we are. And I'm telling you right now, it is not okay to be a masculine-minded woman just because you're educated, because you're fly, and because you have money, and then you think that someone is going to want to partner up with you and you're emasculating them every day. See, it could have been a part of your attitude where you emasculated your ex, but he found someone that was actually willing to feed into his spirit, that was able to nurture who he is. Yes, our young ladies are being fed lies and garbage by reality TV. Toya, you are absolutely right. They're being fed this garbage, and it is by design. And because we go on TV and we want to mirror those things, and I just don't feed it into my spirit anymore, because guess what, before you know it, you're out and you're thinking this way. But see, as a black woman, there are black men watching us that want to know, hey, I want to be with her. But as black men, as women, we're watching black men. We want to know what it is. See, I'd rather take points from someone that may struggle through their marriage, but they didn't give up. They didn't give up. So we have to figure out how not to focus on what happened in the past, but we have to figure out where we're going. What's the solution? Who am I, and how did I get caught up in that? Yes, I can and don't want to do it alone. You do not. I agree with you, Nicole Jean. Thank you for saying that. Nobody wants to do it alone, but we have to be okay with doing it alone until God blesses us, and we cannot continue to settle for someone that's not ours. You don't have to know that woman to not disrespect her. I mean, you don't have to. I don't need to know you to know that I have no business disrespecting you. Now, when a man says, "Oh, I'm married. Oh, I'm this. Oh, I'm that," we can be friends. I say, okay, well, if me, you, and your wife can be friends, then that's cool. But I'm gonna tell you right now, see, you're gonna be married to me, and then you coming home, you bring home all these new women friends. Not gonna happen. Not in my time. So what I know, I know I've done some things in the past that I'm not happy about, but you know what? God erases our sins and he forgives us. We have to forgive ourselves, and we have to be okay with that. We have to forgive our exes for any trespasses that they committed against us, and we have to be okay with that. We have to make resolve within ourselves about who we really are and where we're headed. See, sometimes we block our own blessings because we're stuck. We get stuck in this whole realm of who we think we're supposed to be. We get stuck in fairy tales, and we see these elaborate things happen. Guess what? We live in real life. We are living real life, so we have to behave in that manner. So all I say is, instead of being bitter, be better. Instead of being a bitch, then that means resolve within you the joy and the peace, the balance, and the harmony that you're meant to be, things that you're meant to give. Because the moment that you really resolve that, and it's like, I saw somebody post earlier, God can't bless you with more when you can't even handle the little. See, if you had these little bitty things, and you can't be trusted with it, what makes you think he gonna trust you with more? No. So if you can't trust loving yourself, you can't trust being by yourself. See, once you learn to love you, you won't accept somebody else not loving you. You accepted your ex not loving you. But what has happened is you accepted him not loving you. Hey, Ty, I love you, cousin. Sometimes I just in the mirror seem closer than what there. Yes. Leave the past. Yes. Leave in the past. Lean forward. That is absolutely right. You have to look towards the future. Lean not to your own understanding. I told you all earlier, I found this little book. It is a promise book. It got scriptures all through it. Y'all, it's the best thing that I could have ever found. I carry it in my purse now because I need to be able to have a reference, because we all become weak. And we can, somebody can roll up on us and it's been a minute and we, they look good to us. We be like, oh, okay, hey, but we have to figure out how to counter that. For the holidays, I hung out with my girlfriends. I was like, I'm not gonna be alone up in this house. And then the next thing you know, somebody, how you had a devil on one shoulder and the angel on the other, but the devil winning because he like, call so-and-so, call so-and-so, call so-and-so. And then the angel like, don't do it. But he only whispering because you letting that noise in your head. You let that noise in your head. You have to let it go. And you have to make sure that what and who you say you are, you own up to it. See, for me, as a relationship coach, as a speaker, and as an author, I had to decide that I had to be who I said I was. So I had to begin to release people out of my life because they were making me not be, they weren't making me do anything. Because guess what? I joined. I raised my hand. I'm like, yep, I'll do it. And so you have to make sure that you're not doing that. And Nicole, that's great. I love those journals. Yes, noise in your head, noise in your head. That noise will drown out anything if you are not countering it and making sure that you are filling it up with positive things. Yes, Lisa, step out your comfort zone and try new things. I shared in my secret group with my single ladies, try something new. Meetup.com is the bomb.com. You can do anything in meetup.com and join like the because people there, join the groups that are unisex, that have men and women. Figure out who you are. I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to be sitting around in the house like somebody knocking on my door coming to find me. I'm going to be in Home Depot pushing the basket. I don't need no wood, but I promise you I'll give me a 2x4 and have it in that basket with some nails and a hammer. I'm going to start hanging out in places where I know. And see, we just think I'm going to go to church and that's where I'm going to find a man. Everybody go to church ain't saved. Just like you park your car in the garage, ain't going to make it a Cadillac. I'm just saying. So you, and I'm not telling you not to go to church, but I'm saying figure out the solution to counter who and where you're trying to go. So push forward, press toward the prize, press toward the win. I count myself not to have apprehended, but this one thing I know, leaving those things which are behind and pressing toward the mark, which is in Christ Jesus. Yes, Nisha, I know you laughing at me saying I'm going to Home Depot. I'm telling you, be like, oh, I done dropped this wood. Somebody gonna come help me. I'm just saying. Somebody gonna come help me. So, and we have to stop being so unapproachable. We got the stank face. You know, we fly as ever. Hair together. Well, my hair might not be together right now. But hair together, makeup on point. You got yourself together. And then you looking like, I wish you would. He like, okay, well then I won't. You gotta figure that out. You cannot just decide that you're not gonna be approachable. And if somebody flirt with you, flirt back with them. See, we so busy trying to get back with somebody who we didn't like in the first place just so we can arrive back at a place with somebody. Now we gotta start all over again because you worried about what your ex doing. Don't worry about what they doing. You trying to get somebody that's not gonna be your ex, but that's gonna be your present, your future, and everything else. So I know I've taken up a lot of your time. Nicole said she'll give me a ride to Home Depot. And James said he'll help me with my wood. I'm going to take you up on that, James. So anyway, thank you guys so much, so much for joining my live video. I want to implore you to visit my website for my event. I want you guys to really come out. The event is going to be amazing. When I tell you it's going to be the Terry D experience, it's going to be the Terry D experience. It is February 4th, 2017. It starts at 3 p.m. and it goes till 7. You can stay from 7 to 8 to mingle if you want to. It is the Terry D experience, removing the mask. And as tonight, as I said, we want to remove our mask of lies. See, a lot of us cannot recover or get or press forward because we live behind these masks and we wear lies and we're not telling the truth. So love you too, Linda. And thank you for traveling, Lisa. I have a few friends that are traveling in town, and I love you guys so much. I got somebody coming from New Orleans, from Florida. Like, that is major and amazing. So thank you guys for participating, for it being. Thank you, Toya. You were the first person to buy your ticket. Thank you for being there, and I really appreciate it. I will have exercises, all kind of things there. Love you, Nicole, that will help you to be free. Thank you guys for sharing. Continue to share the video and make sure that everything that you are doing is for the betterment of you. And don't focus on your past. Press toward the mark. Thank you guys. Love you all so very much. Have an amazing evening. Happy New Year. Don't forget www.theterrydexperience.com. Thank you, Melissa. Thank you for joining, Margaret. I will let you know when the next live event is, James. My friends keep telling me that I need to schedule one every week. Y'all know I'll do a video and then post it. But I thank you, Deanna. Thank you guys for it. And I'm glad that I was able to inspire someone. If I did inspire you, love you, Nisha. Love you so much. Then certainly share the video. I want for these kind of things to begin to go viral, not because of who I am, but because of who God has blessed us to be. And if we don't, love you, Ty, if we do not spread the word, if we do not begin to take hold and stop allowing others to define who we are, then guess what? We can't counter any of our negatives with our positives. Thank you all. Thanks for joining, Jatana. I miss you. I love you. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Have an absolutely amazing evening and Happy New Year. Bye-bye.